Hello and good evening. Today is Friday, March 14, 2025. I'm Suleiman Talash and you're watching RTA News. We begin with the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan has strongly rejected the claim of the Pakistani military spokesperson that the attack on a passenger vehicle train in Balochistan is related to Afghanistan. Abdul Qahar Balkhi, the spokesperson for the Minister of Foreign Affairs, wrote on his X page that they asked the Pakistani side to focus on solving its security and domestic problems instead of making such irresponsible statements. According to the spokesperson for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, no member of the Baloch separatists is present in Afghanistan and they have no connection with the Islamic Emirate. He also expressed regret over the killing of innocent people in this incident and said that sacrificing civilians for political purposes is not justified. The Foreign Minister of the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan met with the Minister of Commerce and Investment of Oman to discuss the development of exports and imports, transport and agriculture between the two countries. The Director of Information and Public Relations for the ministry says that in this meeting, both sides agreed to the movement of trade and private sector delegations between Kabul and Muscat. We have more in this report. During his visit to Oman, Maulavi Amir Khan Muttaqi, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan, met with Qais bin Muhammad Al Yusuf, the Minister of Industry and Commerce and Investment of Oman, in the capital Muscat. The Minister of Foreign Affairs said that in this meeting, in addition to discussing trade, investment and transit routes between the two countries, they agreed to the movement of trade and private sector delegations. The two sides discussed the development of exports and imports between Afghanistan and Oman, as well as trade and transport, in addition to agriculture and security. Both sides agreed that joint working teams and sectoral institutions would start technical discussions in this regard. Analysts consider this visit to be beneficial, adding that this visit will pave the way for further development of bilateral relations between Kabul and Muscat. This important visit to Oman will play a vital role not only in terms of recognition, sending Afghan workers to this country, creating facilities for Afghans living in Oman, in political and international diplomacy, and in building relations between the two countries. This comes at a time when the Omani foreign minister had previously said in a meeting with the foreign minister of the Islamic Emirate that Oman wants to further strengthen political, economic and trade relations with Afghanistan. Ghazni Governor Maulavi Abdul Samad Javed met with Maulavi Nur Jalal Jalali, the Minister of Public Health, and demanded the completion of the remaining work on the province's district hospitals. He said that the province's budget for health should be increased next year. On the other hand, the Minister of Public Health assured that the health services will be expanded and the problems of the province would be solved. Mohammad Durakhshan, the head of a German company called Trustco Middle East, expressed his readiness to invest $400 million in road construction in Afghanistan during a meeting with Mullah Muhammad Isa Sani, the Minister of Public Works. Muhammad Ashraf Haq Shanas, the Ministry of Public Health Works spokesperson, said that the company will make this investment in exchange for minerals. At the same time, the Minister of Public Works said that work on the Ghor Herat and Badghis Faryab roads is underway, and after approval from the Islamic Emirates leadership, an agreement will be signed with the company to construct one of these roads. The Minister of Agriculture, Irrigation and Livestock has commenced distributing industrial park lands in the country to the Ministry of Industry and Commerce. Officials from the Ministry of Industry and Commerce say that the ministry has distributed industrial park lands in 16 provinces and is continuing the process in 18 others, which will be distributed to the industrialists upon completion. Let's see more in this report.
The Ministry of Industry and Commerce says that the decree of the Islamic Emirat's leader has been signed regarding the distribution of industrial park lands to industrialists in the country, stating that the lands will be distributed to industrialists after the lands are submitted to the ministry.
A total of 160,000 acres of land, as ordered by the Amir al-Mu'minin Hafazahullah to the Ministry of Agriculture, has been transferred by the Directorate of General Lands to the Ministry of Industry and Commerce in 34 provinces under the supervision of the Ministry of Agriculture. This process is ongoing, and in 16 provinces the process is nearly complete, and the Ministry of Industry and Commerce has transferred these lands to industrial parks. In the remaining provinces, the process is still underway.
On the other hand, the Industrialists Union considers the distribution of industrial lands beneficial and the need in strengthening the country's industry. They say that the process of distributing industrial lands should begin sooner, as this will solve the problems of industrialists.
The quicker this land can be distributed, the better is it. It must be done in an easy and accessible way. Firstly, it will benefit genuine investors who have been waiting to invest, and they will proceed with their investments. Secondly, the economic and production sectors will see positive movement. The faster this process is completed, the more the industrialists and investors will step forward. It's crucial that this distribution happens swiftly and at affordable prices, as this land is intended to support key industrial development.
The Ministry of Industry and Commerce also adds that any industrialist who applies for his business plan, a map of his requested land, a copy of the license, identification number, and the electronic ID cards of the company's director and deputy director, along with the company's profile and bank statement, will be granted land after the ministry's evaluation and approval.
19 individuals, including women and children, were injured in a road accident in Baghlan province. Officials say that the accident occurred late yesterday when a passenger vehicle deviated in the northern Salang of Khanjan district of Baghlan province. The injured were taken to Central Hospital in Polikhumri city as soon as possible. Last month, the Afghan Red Crescent Society provided health services to 7,840 people in different areas of Samangan province. The Afghan Red Crescent Society says that these services include the provision of medicines, health check-ups, treatment of the injured, vaccinations, distribution of food to malnourished children, provision of health consultations, and other services. And the final one is that the Rural Rehabilitation and Development Department of Kandahar province has begun construction of a solar water supply network in Shahid Mullah Mansoor village of Maiwan district of the province for 6 million Afghanis. The network includes digging a well 150 meters deep, building a high-altitude reservoir of clean water with a capacity of 20 cubic meters, laying a pipe 6,948 meters long, and connecting 12 solar panels and 80 taps. During the work of this network, dozens of workers will be provided with employment opportunities, and upon completion, 160 families in the village will have access to clean drinking water. That's all for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good night.